Hello everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today I'm going to be showing you this huge garage door that I've made using these pistons that I've shown in the past. It works on both sides. It's very laggy. Probably because I don't have Optifine, but yeah, you can see that it functions on both sides, so I can hit this button as well. And it will do the same thing. Either one will trigger the door. Now the highest you could build this would be 12 or 11 blocks, right? Because it has to push it up here. 10, 11, or 12 blocks. So yeah, that's the highest you could build it, but the widest you could build it would be infinite. So you can literally build this as wide as you want. If you're building like a warehouse, then you can tile these doors next to each other. Just start the next door right here. Okay. Now I'm going to look at some of the redstone and try to explain how it works. So right here, this is the input line that comes from both buttons. And that powers this piston. So when it's set to here, it'll power the bottom flying machines. When it's set to there, it'll power the top flying machines through the middle of this column using a leaf and woodblock mechanic. And if it goes on the top, that powers this monostable circuit, which triggers both starting the flying machine and, after a long delay, sending it back. And if you're wondering what this is just the piston pushers. So if you push any block in front of this observer and then in front of these pistons, it'll get pushed over both ways. So that's pretty cool. And then on the bottom is a little bit more complicated. So on the bottom circuit, coming out from here, we have a 3-tick monostable circuit that then powers all of this redstone. So this powers the top pistons, which push first. Then the next part powers these pistons, then these pistons, and then finally these pistons at the bottom to get the whole thing going. And then after this pre-programmed delay of 10 items, this green line will fire, giving an output to all of these lines right here to send the whole thing back down. Alright, now that we've looked at the redstone, we're going to build a slice. Okay, so this is how you build it. At the bottom, several blocks below the surface, download the world if you want to know how many. World download in the description, by the way, for both this world and the next one that's coming up in the next video. Then you either do slime or honey, depending on where your flying machine is. Then an observer. Don't do that, I'm messing that up. Then you do an observer, a piston. Then another observer right there. And then another piston. Now coming out from this piston, you have 5 blocks. And then an observer here. And another piston on top. That's your base flying machine. Then the next one will be the opposite of the first one that you just placed. And it'll be a 3-block segment. Observer, piston. And then, because we're getting close to the surface, you can just extend that all the way up to the roof. And then that will push a observer and a regular piston. Because we only want it to push, we don't want it to pull. Okay, then coming out from the floor. So the floors can be made of whatever immovable block you want. Except for right here, it doesn't have to be immovable, but I wanted to mirror the other side. Okay, so you have a redstone torch coming up from this wool block right here. me see if I can get that. Redstone torch there, that will power the piston. Then you place another redstone block there. That will unpower the piston. And then you've got a repeater and some dust, and to stop that from happening, you can just do that. Okay. So then this can be tiled as far as you want that way. So to power the bottom, well, first let's get this out of the way. So to make the flying machine go down again, you've got this green circuit. Again, dust, repeater. And then if you want to actually build the timer, because that would be your first module, timer powers in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th module, if I'm correct. Monostable circuit coming out from a hopper timer with 10 items in it. And then, yeah, this torch is keeping it powered until that powers it. But I'm not going to build that. You can build that. Look at the world download if you're confused. Okay, so now that we've got that, then to power this piston right here, we're going to need to do some clever things to make sure that it doesn't get in the way of anything we've already done. So we'll have a repeater, and dust, and then all of that will connect into a circuit that, again, you can look at in the world download. But all of that, yeah, connects into this. And then once you've done that, you're almost there, really. You've got this. So as you can see, that's how that works. And I accidentally broke part of my earlier circuit. So yeah, you'd have this repeater chain powering in from the same thing. This is pretty much just delay, but you want to keep it one tick. That's why I used all of those. So then you've got a repeater and some dust, and then that. Again, not going to show that here, but I'm just doing a slice. And then there you go, you've got all of the inputs to the bottom flying machine. And you can just build these barrels up like this. Don't open them, you gotta build them like that. And that kind of looks like a cool column in your warehouse that separates the doors. Okay, so on top, the way you build this, observer facing, not that way, but that way. Oh, I messed it up. Facing that way. Into a block. Into some dust. Into 2 pistons, technically. And the middle ones will power into 3 pistons. So now if you update, those pistons will both fire. Then on the top part of the block, I'm lagging so much, I'm sorry. On the top part of the block, then you do the same thing. You've got observer, like, not like that, but like this. And then to do everything on the top, you do this, build a little roof, and then cover it in redstone, like that. And then this should now power those as well. So if you actually try to push things into this, if I can get a redstone block, and you push in some other block, this is going to be really hard to do with the lag, isn't it? So this way gets pushed down, pushing it that way. Oh no. Pushing it that way will push it over again. So that's how you build that. To build the top segment is a little more complicated, so there's the thing coming out. I can't really build a slice of this, because it doesn't have slices. I'll show you the flying machine, though. It's really simple. Right here. Looks like this. So you've got the same setup that you built down there. You've got 2 slime, a piston, and an observer. Observer, piston, slime, 5 slime, observer, piston, and then that'll push all your blocks back and forth. And then, yeah, to power it, you just have these redstone lines. There's a redstone line back here to power these. And again, the 1 tick's trying to keep that 1 tick pulse. And, yeah, that's pretty much all that I have here today for you guys. This has been Sword. Goodbye.